Chosen one, stop what you are doing. Do not rush past this. Do not treat this as noise. This is not the first warning. This is the third. And the reason this message keeps pressing into your spirit is because heaven is not trying to scare you. Heaven is trying to move you before the old place closes around you. Archangel Michael carries a message of urgency. Not panic, not confusion, not chaos, protection, defense, movement. You have been feeling it for days, maybe longer. Something around you no longer feels safe in the same way, even when nothing visible has changed. You tried to ignore the heaviness. You tried to call it stress. You told yourself it was just another tired day. But deep inside, something kept whispering, "Get ready." Something kept pulling at your sleep, your thoughts, your peace, and your attention. Chosen one. Pack your bags does not always mean grab a suitcase. Listen carefully. Sometimes the first bag is your mind. Sometimes the first bag is your heart. Sometimes the first bag is your obedience, because heaven cannot move a person who keeps bargaining with the place that broke them. Do not panic. Do not run wildly. Do not make a decision from fear. This warning is not telling you to destroy your life in one reckless moment. It is telling you to wake up, become still, and stop pretending that the signs have not been repeating. You felt it when the room went quiet. You felt it when certain names appeared again. You felt it when your body became tired around people you used to tolerate, and every time you tried to explain it away, the feeling returned stronger than before. That is how divine warnings often work. They begin as a whisper, then they become pressure, then they become interruption. By the time the third warning arrives, it is no longer asking for your curiosity, it is asking for your attention. Archangel Michael does not come as decoration in this message. He comes as a sign of protection. He comes as a reminder that transition is not always gentle, because some doors open only after heaven has cut the cords that kept you attached to fear. You are not being chased by destruction. You are being escorted out of delay. You are not losing your place. You are being pulled out of a place that has expired. The warning feels urgent because your assignment is too valuable to keep sleeping in an old season. This is why the words "pack your bags" carry weight. They are not cute. They are not random. They are not spiritual entertainment. They are a signal that preparation has become more important than explanation, and obedience has become more important than comfort. Chosen one. This is not the hour to chase what is leaving. Let it go. This is not the hour to beg closed doors to open. Let them close. This is not the hour to prove your heart to people who only understand you when you are small. There is a reason peace left certain places. There is a reason your spirit became restless. There is a reason the same message keeps finding you. Heaven repeats what the chosen refuse to hear, not because heaven is cruel, but because mercy will warn before a season collapses. You have been asking for clarity. You have been asking for confirmation. You have been asking why your heart feels like it is standing at a doorway. And now the answer is pressing through the noise. Because the warning is not about fear, it is about readiness. Do not confuse readiness with panic. Panic runs without direction. Readiness listens before moving. Panic announces too early. Readiness prepares in silence. Panic reacts to pain. Readiness responds to instruction, and that is why this moment must be handled with wisdom. If heaven is telling you to prepare, then prepare your spirit first. Check your peace. Check your attachments. Check the voices you keep letting into your mind. Not every familiar voice is assigned to your next chapter, and not every comfortable place is still covered for your growth. The third warning often sounds louder because the first two were gentle. Maybe the first warning was discomfort. Maybe the second warning was delay. Maybe the third warning is this heavy command in your spirit, telling you that the time for pretending is over. That is why you must not answer every sound. You must not open every door. You must not return to every familiar place just because your heart feels nervous. A nervous heart is not always a wrong heart. Sometimes it is a heart standing before a holy crossing. Chosen one, hear this deeply. You are not weak because you feel the weight. You are sensitive because you are called. You feel shifts early. You sense changes before people explain them. You know when peace has left, even if everyone else calls the room normal. Now heaven is asking you to stop dragging expired things into the doorway. You cannot pack obedience with fear in the same bag. You cannot carry clarity while clinging to confusion. You cannot step into a protected season while still negotiating with the voice that trained you to doubt yourself. You are not crazy for sensing the shift. You are not dramatic for needing silence. You are not selfish for protecting your peace. When heaven begins to reposition a chosen one, the first thing it often removes is the false guilt that made bondage look like loyalty. Take a breath. Do not move from fear. Do not stay from fear either. There is a holy middle place where you become still enough to hear, brave enough to prepare, and humble enough to wait for the next clear instruction. Archangel Michael says this is urgent, because delay has a sound too. It sounds like later. It sounds like maybe. It sounds like one more chance for what has already shown you its fruit. And if you keep feeding delay, delay will keep dressing itself as wisdom. But this is not wisdom. Wisdom does not keep you chained to what God released you from. Wisdom does not ask you to ignore every sign. Wisdom does not call confusion peace. Wisdom teaches you to prepare quietly when heaven says the old covering is lifting. So tonight, or whenever this message finds you, do not harden your heart. Pay attention. Notice what drains you. Notice what keeps closing. Notice what brings peace when you imagine release. Those signs matter, especially when they arrive again and again. The bag heaven is asking you to pack may contain no clothing at first. It may contain courage. It may contain silence. It may contain a new boundary. It may contain the strength to leave a conversation unfinished, because not every person deserves a map to your next move. This is only the beginning of the message. Before you assume the warning is only about a physical move, you need to understand the first two warnings you already received. Because once you see them clearly, the urgency of this third warning will no longer feel random. This warning did not arrive out of nowhere. Heaven has been speaking before this moment. The first warning was quiet. The second warning was heavier. The third warning is urgent, because mercy has already been patient with your delay. The first warning was the loss of peace. You walked into a room and your spirit pulled back. You spoke to someone familiar and your body became tense. Nothing dramatic happened on the outside, but inside you knew something had shifted and you could not force yourself to feel safe there anymore. You tried to explain it away. You said you were tired. You said you were overthinking. You said maybe the problem was you. But peace does not leave without a reason. And when peace leaves a place repeatedly, the chosen must stop calling it coincidence. Some places can look normal while your spirit knows they are closed. Some people can smile while your discernment feels danger. Some opportunities can look good while your soul feels small inside them. This is why the first warning came through discomfort, not disaster. Heaven does not always begin with thunder. Sometimes heaven begins with a quiet pulling. You lose taste for old conversations. You stop feeling alive in familiar patterns. You no longer laugh at what used to distract you because your spirit has outgrown the cage your habits called comfort. Chosen one, the first warning was not punishment. It was mercy. It was heaven letting your peace leave before your body had to leave. It was protection moving through discomfort. Because if peace had stayed, you might have mistaken the old place for home. Then came the second warning. Doors slowed down. Plans became delayed. People stopped answering. The opportunity that once seemed certain began to slip. And you wondered why heaven would let something promising become so difficult. But what looked like delay was protection. What looked like rejection was redirection. What looked like silence was instruction. Heaven was not ignoring you. It was blocking the path that would have carried you deeper into a season that had already expired. You kept pushing. You kept trying to revive it. You kept praying for a door to open that heaven had already closed. And every time you forced it, something became heavier, because obedience becomes painful when the heart keeps arguing with divine release. Some of you asked for a sign, then resisted the sign when it came as a closed door. You asked for direction, then became angry when the direction required separation. You asked for protection, then mourned the very removal that was protecting you from hidden damage. This is where many chosen ones struggle. You can survive pain for so long that peace begins to feel suspicious. You can stay in survival for so long that an open door feels unsafe. And when heaven starts moving you, fear may call the movement a threat. But the second warning was not a threat. It was a boundary. It was heaven showing you that not every blocked thing is demonic, not every delay is failure, and not every loss is evidence that God has forgotten your name. Look back carefully. The pattern was there. The calls that did not come, the conversations that lost warmth, the doors that almost opened, then shut again, the plans that kept falling apart, even when you did everything you knew how to do. Something was being removed from your reach because heaven was preparing your hands for what could not fit with the old attachment. That is why the loss hurt. But it also carried a strange kind of protection. Chosen one. The third warning came after the quiet warning and the blocked warning. This is why it feels stronger. This is why pack your bags feels like a command. Heaven is no longer just pulling your peace or blocking your path. Heaven is waking your whole spirit. You may feel restless at night. You may wake before morning with a strange heaviness. You may feel like something is coming, but you cannot explain it to people without sounding dramatic. This does not mean you are unstable. It means your spirit is listening before your mind understands. The third warning often moves through the body. Your chest feels tight around old situations. Your stomach reacts before your mouth speaks. Your energy drops when certain names appear. Your sleep becomes strange because your spirit is standing at a doorway while your routine still pretends nothing changed. This is why Archangel Michael appears in the weight of this message. It is not for decoration. It is not for fear. It is a sign that protection is involved. And when protection is involved, some separations will feel sudden, even if heaven has been warning you for a long time. Think about Lot. The call was not to debate the city, it was to leave before what looked normal became dangerous. Think about Israel. Before release, they had instruction, they had timing. Their preparation became the bridge between bondage and movement. So do not despise preparation. Do not mock the feeling that says get ready. Do not ignore the sudden urge to organize your life, clear your space, protect your attention, and stop giving your strength to people who only know how to drain it. The first warning touched your peace. The second warning touched your circumstances. The third warning is touching your readiness. That is why this message feels personal. It is not just telling you something is changing. It is telling you that you must change posture before the door fully opens. Chosen one, you have been feeling the pressure because your inner world is too crowded, too many voices, too many memories, too many old fears pretending to be wisdom. And when the mind is crowded, even a divine warning can sound like anxiety. This is why clarity matters so much in this season. Some warnings are missed, not because the spirit is silent, but because the mind is noisy. You need quiet enough to hear. You need focus enough to discern. You need stillness enough to know what is fear and what is instruction. Some chosen ones use simple sound-based focus practices to quiet the mental fog. A 7-minute gamma audio can become a small support tool for focus and inner clarity, not as a replacement for prayer, but as a way to become still enough to listen. That is why I mention the Genius song carefully. It is not magic. It is not a miracle button. It is not a substitute for God. It is simply a support practice for the mind, created to help you return to focus when confusion has been too loud for too long. But even with every tool, the deepest work is still obedience. No audio can obey for you. No sign can choose for you. No warning can move your feet if your heart keeps asking fear for permission to stay in a place where peace has already left. So listen again. The first warning was peace leaving. The second warning was doors closing. The third warning is urgency rising. And if all three have touched your life, then this message is not random. It is confirmation that preparation can no longer be postponed. Before you pack anything physical, you must recognize what heaven has already shown you. The first two warnings were preparation for this one. And now, the real question is not whether the warning is real. The real question is what you are supposed to carry forward and what you must leave behind. Now that you have recognized the warnings, the next question becomes serious. What are you supposed to carry forward? What must be left behind? Chosen one. This is where many people make the mistake. They pack fear and call it wisdom, because fear has sounded familiar for so long. Heaven is not asking you to carry everything. Heaven is asking you to choose. You cannot enter a new season with every old attachment still wrapped around your heart. Some things must be packed with honor, and some things must be placed on the altar and left there. The first thing you must pack is discernment. Not suspicion, not paranoia, not panic. Discernment is the quiet knowing that separates instruction from emotion. It helps you feel the difference between a holy warning and a wounded reaction that only wants to escape pain. You need discernment because urgency can be misunderstood. A rushed mind can turn a sacred warning into a reckless decision. A wounded heart can call every discomfort a sign, but true discernment does not scream. It settles with wait, peace, and repeated confirmation. The second thing you must pack is obedience. This is not the soft kind that only obeys when the instruction feels easy. This is the deep kind. This is the kind that moves when nobody claps, waits when nobody understands, and releases what the heart once begged to keep. Obedience may not look dramatic today. It may look like silence. It may look like not answering the message. It may look like cleaning your room, organizing your papers, saving your strength, or refusing to return to the conversation that keeps reopening an old wound. The third thing you must pack is peace. Not comfort, not convenience, peace. Comfort may beg you to stay where you are familiar. Peace will lead you where your spirit can breathe, even if your flesh trembles when the door first opens. There is a difference between peace and ease. Ease asks for no courage. Peace can exist in the middle of a difficult step. Ease protects the old self. Peace confirms the aligned self. And that is why you must not judge the next move only by how comfortable it feels. The fourth thing you must pack is clarity. You cannot move well with a crowded mind. You cannot hear well while every old voice is still talking inside you. Confusion is heavy, and if you carry it into the new season, you may recreate the old prison in a new place. Clarity does not mean you know every detail. It means you know the next right step. It means you can separate fear from wisdom, pressure from instruction, and guilt from love. It means your mind becomes quiet enough for your spirit to stand upright. This is why your focus matters now. When your mind is scattered, even a divine warning can feel like anxiety. When your thoughts are crowded, you may delay what heaven told you to prepare for, simply because you cannot hear the signal through the noise. If this message finds you in mental fog, be gentle with yourself. Some chosen ones use the Genius song as a 7-minute gamma audio support practice with headphones. It is not a replacement for prayer, but it may help support focus, intuition, and clarity. Use it wisely. Do not treat it like magic. Do not treat it like a shortcut. Let it be a quiet support tool while you continue to pray, listen, and obey. The tool may help the mind become still, but obedience must still come from your surrendered heart. The fifth thing you must pack is identity. You cannot carry the old version of yourself into the place where heaven is sending you. The old version begged for permission. The old version apologized for growing. The old version felt guilty for needing peace. Pack the identity heaven gave you. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are not hard to love because you need boundaries. You are not selfish because you can no longer shrink for people who only liked you when you were easy to control. Chosen one, you are being repositioned. Not rejected, not punished, not abandoned. Repositioned. The place that could hold your healing may not be able to hold your assignment, and the people who witnessed your pain may not be assigned to witness your rise. Now listen carefully to what you must leave behind. Leave people pleasing. It has cost you too much. It made you answer when you needed silence. It made you explain when you needed rest. It made you call exhaustion love, and that is too high a price. People-pleasing will try to pack itself in your bag. It will sound humble. It will sound kind. It will tell you to check on everyone before you obey God. But if kindness keeps making you betray divine instruction, it is bondage, wearing a gentle face. Leave the fear of being misunderstood. You will not be able to explain this transition to everyone. Some people only understand movement when they benefit from it. Some people only bless your growth when it does not force them to lose access to you. Leave old guilt. Guilt will tell you that leaving means betrayal. Guilt will tell you that boundaries mean coldness. Guilt will tell you that choosing peace means you have changed in a bad way. But sometimes, holy change feels offensive to unhealthy access. Leave counterfeit comfort. It feels safe because it is familiar. It knows your old wounds. It knows your old excuses. It knows how to make delay feel reasonable. But counterfeit comfort will never demand your growth because its power depends on keeping you the same. Leave trauma loyalty. This is the bond that makes you stay connected to what wounded you because leaving feels like dishonor. But you can forgive without returning. You can love without reopening access. You can bless without carrying what heaven told you to release. Pack courage instead. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage deletes the message. Sometimes courage closes the door softly. Sometimes courage sleeps instead of spiraling. Sometimes courage refuses to rehearse old conversations with people who have already shown their fruit. Pack silence too. Not bitter silence. Sacred silence. The kind that protects unborn things. The kind that lets heaven finish a work before human opinions start touching it. Not every instruction should be shared while it is still forming. The warning is not only about moving forward, it is about moving forward clean. If you carry the old chaos into the new place, you will rebuild the same storm with different walls. That is why heaven deals with the bag before it reveals the destination. So pack discernment, pack obedience, pack peace, pack clarity, pack identity. Leave fear, leave guilt, leave false comfort, leave the need to be understood by everyone. Leave the version of you that needed chaos to feel familiar. But even after you know what to pack, there is one reason this warning is called the third and final warning. This is where the message becomes heavier. Because the third warning is not really about movement, it is about obedience before the door closes. Chosen one. This is the part of the message that carries weight. Do not rush through it. Do not soften it to make your fear comfortable. The third warning is not here to entertain you. It is here to wake up the part of you that still keeps negotiating with what heaven already ended. This is why the words "pack your bags" feel so heavy. The bag is not panic. The bag is readiness. The bag is not escape. The bag is obedience. The bag is the part of you that finally stops asking the old season for permission to become free. You have been trying to leave without grieving. You have been trying to move without releasing. You have been trying to obey while still keeping one hand on what broke your peace. And that is why this warning had to become stronger than your attachment. The third warning is not punishment. It is mercy with urgency. It is heaven saying, "Stop touching what I removed. Stop reviving what I closed. Stop calling bondage loyalty, because the thing you keep protecting may be the thing keeping you from your next assignment." Chosen one, hear this clearly. If you stay too long in a place that heaven has expired, you will start calling heaviness normal. You will start calling confusion love. You will start calling your shrinking humility. because delay has a way of dressing itself in familiar words. That is why Archangel Michael stands in the weight of this message. He is not here to decorate your imagination. He is here as a sign of protection, boundary, defense, and escort. You are not being abandoned in this transition. You are being guarded through it. The sword means the cord is being cut. The shield means you are still covered. The escort means you are not moving alone. And the urgency means heaven has seen something ahead that your natural eyes cannot yet understand. Some people did not become evil. They became unavailable for your assignment. Some places did not become cursed. They became too small for your growth. Some opportunities did not disappear because you failed. They disappeared because the wrong door cannot carry the right destiny. You must stop mourning every closed thing as if it was proof of rejection. Some closures are rescue. Some silence is protection. Some losses are gates in disguise. You asked heaven to guide you. But guidance often begins by removing what keeps pulling you backward. This is the place where the chosen often tremble, because you can recognize the warning and still be afraid to obey it. You can feel the shift and still ask for one more sign. You can know the door is closing and still stand there, hoping it will feel less painful. But obedience rarely waits until pain disappears. Obedience moves while the heart is still learning to trust. Obedience prepares while the mind still has questions. Obedience says yes before everyone understands, because divine instruction does not need public agreement to be holy. The third warning is serious because your delay is not empty. Delay can grow roots. Delay can create habits. Delay can make you comfortable in a cage. And if you keep waiting for the old place to bless your exit, you may miss the peace that was already waiting outside. Do not let fear rename your instruction. Fear will call preparation dramatic. Fear will call silence rude. Fear will call boundaries selfish. Fear will call obedience dangerous, because fear knows that the moment you move with clarity, its voice loses control over your future. Some of you are being told to pack your bags emotionally. Stop carrying conversations that ended months ago. Stop rehearsing explanations for people who chose misunderstanding. Stop sleeping beside memories that keep your heart tied to a room heaven already told you to leave. Some of you are being told to pack your bags mentally. Clear the noise. Remove the voices. Stop feeding the thought pattern that says you are late, lost, rejected, or forgotten. Your mind must become a clean table before heaven places new instructions on it. Some of you are being told to pack your bags spiritually. Return to prayer. Return to stillness. Return to the quiet place where your spirit remembers the voice of God. The next season requires a deeper listening than the last one. And yes, some of you are being prepared for a physical move, a house, a city, a job, a room, a relationship, a circle. But do not move because fear shouted. Move because peace confirmed, wisdom aligned, and heaven repeated the instruction. The bag is your readiness. The bag is your yes. The bag is your refusal to stay small for people who fear your growth. The bag is your decision to stop dragging your old identity into a doorway that requires a healed version of you. Chosen one, clarity before movement, peace before announcement, obedience before applause. Do not announce the move too early. Do not place holy instruction in careless hands. Do not ask people who benefit from your delay to confirm the timing of your release. If this season is requiring sharper focus, deeper discernment, and a clearer inner signal, you can find official access to the Genius Song through the link below. Use it as 7 quiet minutes with headphones. Let it support focus, intuition, and mental clarity. Do not use it as a miracle button. Do not use it as a replacement for prayer. Let it become a support practice while you become still enough to recognize the next step. Now return to the warning. Clarity is only useful when it leads to obedience. A clearer mind must still choose. A calm spirit must still prepare. A confirmed warning must still be honored, because revelation without response becomes another form of delay. Archangel Michael says this is urgent because what is opening ahead is not designed for the old version of you. The old version wanted approval. The old version explained too much. The old version returned too quickly. The old version kept trying to prove love to people who only studied your weakness. But that version cannot carry the next assignment. That version cannot protect the new door. That version cannot walk into a prepared place while still apologizing for being chosen. This is why heaven is not only moving your circumstances, heaven is changing your posture. You are not running away, you are being repositioned. You are not losing everything, you are releasing what cannot travel. You are not being punished by the closing door. You are being protected from building your future in a place where your peace has already died. This warning is not against you, it is for you. It is not a sentence of fear. It is a shield of mercy. It is heaven saying, I saw what you could not see, and I am moving you before the hidden damage becomes your normal. Do not confuse quiet preparation with doing nothing. Quiet preparation is powerful. It clears the room. It orders the heart. It protects the vision. It lets you move without turning your assignment into a public debate before it has roots. This is why the next part matters. Once you understand why heaven is moving you, you must learn how to prepare without panic. You must learn how to move with wisdom, protect the instruction, and let peace become the evidence that you are not alone. Chosen one, now the message begins to settle. The warning has been given. The signs have been named. The bag has been explained. Now you must prepare without panic, because heaven does not want your fear to lead you. Heaven wants your peace to lead you into the next instruction. The first confirmation is repetition. If the warning has returned again and again, pay attention. A thought may pass once. A fear may scream for a moment. But when the same holy pressure keeps returning with weight, peace and timing, your spirit may be hearing what your mind tried to avoid. The second confirmation is peace leaving the old place. Not every hard place is wrong. Not every difficult step means danger. But when peace keeps leaving the same person, the same room, the same pattern, or the same decision, you must stop forcing your spirit to sleep where it can no longer breathe. The third confirmation is closed doors. Chosen one, do not curse every closing. Some doors close because heaven loves you too much to let you build in the wrong place. Some people go silent because their access is ending. Some plans fall apart because a greater plan is being protected. The fourth confirmation is clarity when you imagine obedience. Notice what happens inside you when you stop fighting the instruction. Notice the quiet breath that comes when you imagine release. Fear may still tremble, but underneath fear there can be a deep peace that says, this is the way forward. The fifth confirmation is wise alignment. Heaven can use scripture. Heaven can use timing. Heaven can use a repeated word. Heaven can use counsel that does not flatter your fear. But true confirmation will not push you into chaos. It will guide you toward peace, wisdom, and surrendered action. So prepare your heart. Do not move just to prove that you are strong. Do not leave from revenge. Do not stay from guilt. Sit with the warning long enough to hear its tone, because the voice of heaven may be urgent, but it will not need you to destroy yourself. Prepare your mind. Clear the noise. Turn down the voices that keep feeding panic. Stop replaying old conversations. Stop rehearsing what you should have said. Your next season needs a clean inner room, because crowded thoughts can make a clear instruction feel impossible to obey. Prepare your space. Fold what needs folding. Throw away what keeps dragging old memories back into your hands. Organize what has been sitting in disorder. Sometimes spiritual readiness begins with small physical order, because the body begins to believe change when the room begins to reflect it. Prepare your documents. Prepare your schedule. Prepare your resources. Prepare your rest. If heaven opens a door, you do not want to be too scattered to walk through it. This is not fear-based preparation. This is faithful stewardship of a season that is changing. Prepare your silence. This may be one of the most important instructions. Do not announce the move too early. Do not give unfinished instruction to people who will only cover it with doubt. Some seeds die because they were exposed before they had roots. Sacred silence is not secrecy from fear. It is protection from premature opinions. It is the place where heaven strengthens what it has spoken before the world tries to explain it away. Chosen one. Not every person deserves access to your next step before God finishes forming it. Some will not understand. Let them misunderstand. Some will say you changed. Let them say it. Some will ask why you are quiet. Let your peace answer before your mouth does. You are not required to explain a holy instruction to every person who benefits from your delay. If you need the 7-minute clarity support mentioned earlier, the official access remains below. Use it with headphones if it helps you quiet the noise, but remember this deeply. Every support tool must lead you back to prayer, stillness, discernment, and obedience. Now return fully to the message. This is about your freedom. This is about your next season. This is about heaven pulling you out of a pattern before that pattern becomes your identity again. You are not being rushed by fear. You are being awakened by mercy. Chosen one, do not miss the tenderness inside the warning. Heaven could have let you stay blind. Heaven could have let you keep calling heaviness normal. Heaven could have let you keep mistaking closed doors for failure, but instead, the warning came again. This means you are still covered. This means your spirit is still reachable. This means the assignment over your life still matters. You are not forgotten in the old room. You are not abandoned at the closed door. You are being guided toward what your obedience can finally receive. The old season may try to call your name again. It may come through memory. It may come through loneliness. It may come through someone who senses your release and suddenly wants access again. Do not confuse their timing with the timing of heaven. When people feel you leaving, some will reach for control. When old patterns feel you healing, they will try to sound familiar. When fear feels you preparing, it will begin to speak louder. Stay steady. A louder lie is not stronger than a confirmed instruction. This is your sacred preparation. You will not move in panic. You will not stay in fear. You will not announce too early. You will not carry what heaven told you to release. You will not confuse pain with proof that you are making the wrong decision. You will move with peace. You will wait with wisdom. You will listen with a clean heart. You will obey one step at a time. And when the door opens, you will not arrive scattered, bitter, or afraid. You will arrive prepared. Father God, cover the mind of the chosen one listening now. Cover their heart. Cover their steps. Remove confusion from their path. Close every counterfeit door with mercy. Open only what is aligned with your will, and give them peace strong enough to follow. Teach them the difference between fear and warning. Teach them the difference between delay and protection. Teach them the difference between comfort and peace. Let every false attachment lose its voice, and let every divine instruction become clear enough to obey. If they must leave, guide them safely. If they must wait, strengthen them deeply. If they must be silent, protect the seed. If they must prepare, give them order. If they must release, heal the place in them that still feels guilty for choosing freedom. Chosen one, your bag is not filled with fear. It is filled with readiness. Your heart is not being punished. It is being prepared. Your life is not falling apart. It is being rearranged around the instruction that heaven has repeated until you could finally hear. Pack your peace. Pack your clarity. Pack your courage. Pack your obedience. Leave the guilt. Leave the confusion. Leave the version of you that needed permission to be free. The warning was not sent to scare you. It was sent to get you ready. Chosen one, pack your bags. Not with panic, not with bitterness, not with revenge. Pack them with readiness. Pack them with prayer. Pack them with quiet faith. The third warning was mercy, and mercy has come to move you before the door closes.